What we've got here is...
I just saw this movie. What? Welcome to your favorite uncut, uncensored, spoiler-filled podcast. I am your host, Matt Brando. I just saw Transformers The Last Night, the last movie that Paramount is going to give you. Lies. I actually saw this movie Monday night was the screening, which is stupid because that's the day before opening night on Tuesday, which is really odd that they had an opening night on a Tuesday. And it sucks that it wasn't kind of like earlier. If not, I probably would have been like, yeah, I'll put out a review. But I have like a personal bet with myself that I was like, I'll just put out this review right now. Fuck it. I didn't want to do one. And I've been pretty burnt lately. But I'm going to do it. I'm kind of glad I waited too, because the box office numbers are now in. It is Sunday right now, and they're all pretty much done for the week. And I was going to state, if I were to done a review like Monday night or Tuesday or whatever, I think the embargo was Tuesday. I don't give a fuck. Remember. If I would have done a review, I was going to give my box office predictions because the film was so bad. It wasn't terrible, but it was bad for the sense of the fanboys, that I was going to predict that the movie was going to make a decent opening. But because of the movie being more like a story based rather than like your traditional Transformers action, big action, robots, there's going to have a huge drop off, kind of like a Batman v Superman type of deal. I was thinking at least 70, maybe like 90% drop off like the next week. So it made $69 million according to the LA Times domestically. That ain't shit. It made $45 million in North America. Am I reading this right? And compared to the last one, Age of Extinction, took home $100 million in just the first 3 days. So The Last Night is the first film in the franchise not to open to $100 million bucks or more. Thank you, God. Vote with your wallets, people. They expected, a sure hit, because that's all Hollywood does. They don't really care sometimes about making great films. They just want to make money. It is a business first, and then art is later. However, I'm looking right now at China. The international box office is fucking insane. Oh my God, I can't believe how much money this shitty ass movie's made internationally. It's made, according to Variety, $196.2 million. And China is responsible for pretty much half of that. No, I'm reading the wrong numbers. China is responsible for 123 of that 196. Holy shit. The film, to my knowledge, wasn't filmed in China at all. The last one was, and I think the last one didn't make like any money. I think it only made like 20 million for the first week or something. What? Yeah, it says that was the IMAX. Hold on. Fucking China, $123.4 million. What in the blue hell are you doing, China? You only show up like what, 20 million for Alien Covenant? China box office. Looks like 28.6 million. Okay, fine. 29 million-ish. What in the hell are you doing? What? China, what are you doing? You guys love that fucking robot action that much? I know the last one was filmed in China, at least the third act and stuff, so I understand you guys showing up for that one. But I don't see why you want to, unless it's like a retrospective thing, like, oh, we didn't show up for the last one, so we'll support this next one. Or The reason that they had a like premiere in China, because I think I follow the chick Isabel, and I'll tell why at the end here, because she's one of the highlights of the film. But I think she was over in China promotional materials. I follow Mark Wahlberg too, but I don't think he was posting anything, at least anything I remember. But it could be that they opened up a premiere in China, maybe. That's why it did so well. Or my theory, I think I might as well go into the Joker voice. My theory is that they did well because toys. Hasbro has tons of factories and workers there, and they probably like, yes, I make these figures. That's my job. I have to support Hasbro even more because they support me, and I have a job because of them, and can support my family, and I'll show up for the Transformer movie. Ugh, come on, China. You know better. You guys are smart. All right, so now the China rant. Over to the tomato meter, which I think is bullshit. It says that The Last Knight is the worst Transformers movie out of all of them. Is The Last Knight the worst Transformers movie, Matt? No, I think Age of Extinction is. That movie is terrible. I have if you saw my Twitter, you already know this, but Dark of the Moon. I'm assuming they wanted to call it Dark Side of the Moon, but they didn't want to pay royalties to a classic rock band. But I think Dark of the Moon is the best one. The worst one was definitely Age of Extinction. So I guess it can only go up from here, right? Well, yeah. It kind of sucks. I do want to say something that a tomato meter possibly could have a negative effect on a film or the box office. If people look at a meter rather than read a review and judge by that rather than seeing it for themselves, that's wrong. It's not fair to the filmmakers who put in fucking months, let alone like writers who like do years of research and shit like Michael Mann. It's just hard work, and for their shit to be judged by a number, one number on one website, and that's like the end all be all for some people, or even most people. It's pretty sad. It's a sad world we live in. I want to start off by saying stuff about Michael Bay. Michael Bay is actually, and you're gonna laugh at me, but I don't care. Michael Bay is actually a really fucking, really good director. 13 Hours to me is like the best war film since like Saving Private Ryan and Black Hawk Down. You know, the early 2000s masterpieces. And 13 Hours to me is the best movie he's made. And if you really look at it, you can easily go, oh, Michael Bay sucks because his movies suck. Do his movies suck because of him? Or do the movies suck because of other things? Like the writing. If you really study technically what Michael does in his films, he's actually really fucking good. I've been watching, and I watched previously to get to this Last Night film, all the Transformers movies. So 1 through 4, I can't believe I fucking finished 4. I couldn't believe that. You watch 1 and 2, and then you go to 3. You can tell 3, either the DP work is different, or he's just like improved as a filmmaker because it's directed far better than the first 2 films. He moves the camera a lot, you know, constantly, like Spielberg. He has this, you know, this constantly flowing energy, his kinetic energy. He does a really great job. If you haven't seen 13 Hours, you should really check that shit out. It's really good stuff. So Michael Bay is actually not a bad director at all compared to what a lot of people think. He's actually really fucking good. So, and even if he did make, you know, crappy films, I think that's no reason to actually hate on the guy, like, personally. I think that's, it kind of crossing the line there. It's just fucking art, people, even if it is a Transformers film. And so let's get into the Transformers films, shall we? Like I said, Michael Bay is a great director. This film, for the most part, is directed pretty well. I put on my Twitter that the only thing Michael Bay has to work on, I've noticed this throughout the Transformer films, I don't know if it's the editing style, because the editing is, you know, very fast, or I don't know if it's Michael himself, because sometimes you're watching a scene, there's 2 characters, and one of the characters is like gone in the next scene, even though I think they're supposed to be together. And all of a sudden that second character is like back in the scene. Like you didn't even know they entered or whatnot, because there's no like establishing shot of them entering frame or a wide of them. So I think that's the only thing Mike needs to work on, or the editor needs to include. I don't know who's responsible for that, but yeah, that's the only problem Mike has with at least these movies. I haven't noticed that all in 13 hours. Okay, so every Transformers movie, I can just tell you, not Doug Walker style, but it's my own version, I guess. Every Transformer movie starts off with a voiceover with Optimus Prime, like I am Optimus Prime. I'm here to blah 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 blah, and whatever. And then it ends with, I am Optimus Prime. The humans aren't so bad after all, but I'm gonna go into hiding. And he hides. There's some kind of like, MacGuffin that makes the movie possible. Some kind of bullshit object that brings something back or whatever. They have to get, typical BS, lazy writing. The Autobots are, in hiding. Megatron and Decepticons somehow show up, even if he's dead, to fight Optimus. One human and sometimes his friends somehow help Optimus defeat Megatron. And there's at least one hot chick in every film. Michael Bay says he doesn't return to do another one. They say it's the last Transformers movie. And we both know that Michael Bay returns and there's another Transformers film. And there is your typical Transformers sequel formula from Transformers 2 to 5. Yeah. But this time we have Optimus in the beginning floating in space, and he arrives at Cybertron, or that stupid planet's called, and you see this blue Aisha who's evil just because. And Cybertron's all dead, and Megatron's like, or Megatron, Optimus is like, what happened to Cybertron? And then Aisha brainwashes some, her name's not Aisha, it's like, what the fuck's it called? Quintessa. I'm just gonna keep calling her Aisha because of Guardians. The chick's name is Aisha in Guardians, right? Anyways, the blue Aisha somehow brainwashes Optimus and then changes his eye to like a red eye. Whoa! And then the name is Nemesis Prime. Is it? Is it? Is that what it's called? The Autobot Nemesis Prime. That's so fucking stupid. I'm sorry. I'll say so. We have Nemesis Prime has to go back, get that spear or some shit from the last Knights to wipe out Earth and like move Cybertron to Earth, and fucking cares. I guess they ignored the fact from the last movie, because thank God I watched the last movie to get to this one, that like Galvatron was Megatron, but they ignored that. So like now Megatron just Megatron again. No Megatron inside Galvatron's body. I'm right? That was because Galvatron had a different design to him than Megatron, and now he's just Megatron again for some reason. I don't know. Maybe he had robot surgery. I don't know. Anyway, Cade Yeager, what a name. The engineer with the biceps bigger than his head, who can shoot a gun perfectly with no military training that we know of. Just your everyday working man thrust into battle with robots once again. What is up with these movies? Yeah, I actually just did a podcast with my friend Jack Ewens, who runs the Starbeast podcast. Usually do the alien stuff. We talked Alien Covenant and how similar Alien Covenant's characters are deep down to the role and bones to the original Alien. And a lot of people complain about how stupid they are and shit. They're not. They're just regular ass people. And they're just faced with fear. And they just lock up. Here, it's like a fantasy for sure. Now you have kids, at least one kid, who thinks they're like Iron Man or Captain America out there wanting to battle these like 100-foot tall, 7 tons of steel robots. It's like, it's coming like to a hilarious point here. Then you have this bullshit battle between Optimus and B on the rising ship, whatever the fuck that was, with the water going all over the place. And there's Mark Wahlberg with his mom here. Hey, break it up, you two. It's all bullshit because they're not going to have Optimus kill B or vice versa. And then B takes him out of his, the evil spell by saying, yeah, it's me, we did bounce together. Good enough for this movie. Prime comes out of his spell. I am sorry, B. It was not like that at me at all to do that to you. Or whatever he said. I don't fucking know. I'm just paraphrasing. It's like, what can we do that's different? Let's have Optimus Prime be evil. Let's reprise another role for John Turturro. Gives it Mr. Racist and Do the Right Thing. John Turturro. John Tortilla. Of course, he's this isn't in my notes, but he's reprising his role once again. Nobody listens to him. It's like another trope of the Transformers films I forgot to include in my Transformers formula. You gotta have the one white boy, Lennox. I have the notes here. I got the Wikipedia now open. William Lennox, Josh Duhamel. I don't know, the fucking Marine guy. But we don't have Tyrese, those racists. I'm just kidding. Yeah, just reading here, actually, it says Tyrese wanted to do it, but he couldn't do it because of the Furious movies. But yeah, this movie it didn't know what it wanted to be. That's why I said at the beginning, the fanboys won't come back to see it because it isn't like a typical Transformers film. The main focus is like the storytelling this go around. It's like, kind of serious. It's a war movie without a war, like I said on Twitter. But like this war doesn't happen until like the climax, really. And the pacing is just very dragged out. You don't really see many action pieces where you have robots fighting robots, and then a break, and then another robots fighting robots or whatever. Here you have exposition scenes and more exposition scenes, and most of them are chewed up by Anthony Hopkins when he just explains the past about Cade and this hot British chick and how they're somehow related to these fucking robots. And then it just switches into this typical Transformers humor. Like Hopkins is being pursued by the police and he just like gives him the finger randomly. I'm like, what the fuck? Where did this come from? What? Anthony Hopkins, one of the greatest actors ever, doing this serious role, then all of a sudden just, fuck you. Like, what the fuck? I don't know what this movie is. Was there any good stuff, Matt? Oh, yeah. For sure. The humor, for the most part, was probably the best out of all the films, if not, the third one, Dark of the Moon, for me, beats it. The kid with the glasses, who plays like Yeager's coworker in like the steel yard or junkyard or whatever, he was pretty funny. And he could have been actually pretty bad, like fucking T.J. Miller bad. I'm not saying T.J. Miller's a bad actor. I'm saying his role in Age of Extinction was terrible. And I fucking clapped when he died. And then they introduced Stanley Tucci's character and ended up, giving him that kind of shitty comic lines, and I wanted to die in the theater. Like, oh my god! How was it? What do you say? How do you say how the fuck? What was the line? How do you say how the get the fuck out of the way in Chinese? I don't know. It's like he was just a punching bag. So like here, the comedy felt a little more grounded, and at least this go around, we didn't have Kelsey Grammer ending each one of his sentences with "for my country" or "for country." Oh man, take a shot every time Kelsey Grammer says "for country." Yeah, one negative before I get into one more positive about Isabella. Lots of sexual humor. Not that good of a look here, Paramount. Even this time, it's with kids, making it even more awkward. I mean, I know the main audience here probably is children. But when you have like old ladies in the film that are like the British chick's niece or British chick's aunts and shit or mom, and they think that the niece is banging Yeager upstairs. That's not a look somebody like Spielberg, who usually makes movies that appeal to both kids and adults alike, would think twice of not doing. Yeah. kind of, whatever. But all right, yeah, Isabella. I think she pronounces her name Moner. I just know, I thought it was Moner. She was good. I might be biased because I play hockey with her dad, and her dad is super fucking cool, like super cool. I talked to him on Facebook, but I haven't talked to him in a while. She has a bright future ahead of her. She's gonna have a great career. The 3D, if you want to see in 3D, it was because I saw it in 3D on Monday. You'd be alright with the 2D if you see it. However, save your fucking money. Wait for the Planet of the Apes to come out. Good Hollywood films, sequels, prequels do exist. The Apes prequel trilogy is, and Apes War for the Planet of the Apes is one of them. At least last night wasn't as bad as The Mummy. Holy fucking shit. The Mummy was terrible. I wanted to leave that movie so bad. But it doesn't matter how bad, tying into my motif of the box office. Doesn't matter really, I guess, how bad the domestic box office did at, what, 69 million, because a Bumblebee spin-off movie is coming, and it's titled Transformers Universe, Bumblebee. Scheduled for release on June 8th, 2018. Is this like animated? I have to find out. Like, who the fuck's it being directed by? There's like nothing on this. Directed by Travis Knight, written by Christina Hodgson. I don't know how you're gonna release. It'll be produced for a lower budget. It takes place during 1985. Yeah, good luck placing it in 1985 with a lower budget. Haley Steinfeld was really good in fuck's that movie called? Age of 17? Age of 17? Age of 17? Who cares? Revealing she's been cast in the film. Interesting. That was June 10th. Dude, today is June 25th, 2017, and your release date is less than a year away, June 8th next year, and you haven't even fucking started filming yet. Good luck with that one. Good luck filming and releasing that on time. And then Transformers 6, whatever the fuck's that's gonna be called. Maybe Transformers One Last Time. Well, the last one was called Age of Extinction, which means like the end. The Last Night, you would think, oh, it's the end too. Maybe so. Something end-wise will be related, or end-related will be titled Transformers Apocalypse Today. That's scheduled for release June 28th, 2019. So 2 years. Oh my God. It doesn't matter because the budget was $217 million, and week one they've made $265.3 million. If fucking China keeps showing up, they might make 400. But I hope to God they make like 330, 350 max. They're gonna make at least 300, maybe 350. But I hope they don't make more than 350. Because I hope it just starts to tread downward. You need to vote with your wallets, folks. I don't give a fuck if Transformers 6 has Jennifer Lawrence naked in 3D. I still wouldn't see it. Fuck that shit. I am done with the Transformers franchise of seeing films. The only way I will see it is if maybe somehow an auteur or something gets a hold of it. Or my friends who I really respect their movie opinion says, yeah, go see it. Because it's actually really good. I'd be like, and then I might see it. However, I'm not doing it out of my own will to review for the public or pay with my own money just out of shits and giggles and see it with friends. If friends want to see Transformers 6 with me, I'm going to tell them we're no longer friends anymore. I don't know. Yeah. Sorry I haven't been doing too many of these reviews. I want to do more. I'm just in the process of doing my last toy like video. Not video in general, but like review skit. And I've been reading and writing a lot for my upcoming analysis series. So lots of great stuff on the horizon. Thank you for joining me on my journey. I don't know who I'm impersonating. Maybe Gary Oldman. Actually, it kind of sounds like my shitty Plinkett. But I thought I was gonna do a Gary Oldman and Hannibal. Oh boy. Hopefully I can do more of these. So be on the lookout. If you aren't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, you should shoot that because lots of movie stuff is coming. And possibly get this stuff on iTunes maybe later. I don't know. Maybe. But thanks for listening. What I totally forgot to give this movie a score. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. So my rating review is a 5 out of 10 or higher. I can watch it again, but below that, I can't watch it again. So a 4 out of 10 means I don't want to watch it again. So yep, sure. I'm out. Thanks for listening. See you for the next one.
End of line.
Good luck and congratulations on choosing
Senior Press.
Regretting to have the American ambassador expelled after the incident. The U.S. State Department responded